All right, let's get cracking. So I fixed a couple of things. I believe I fixed them. Maybe I should have checked this before I started the stream. But we should be able to create something now without getting that weird sort of create bug. So maybe we'll call this like some. Actually, I don't want to go on this page. We're going to go to the lessons page. Yeah, so one thing I want to do is clean this up in this video. So let's see if we can create a course. We can. And when we create more courses, it doesn't give us that weird bug from before now. Nice. Let's just move that down to 50 milliseconds. Yeah, actually 250. That should be enough so that we can kind of see what's going on. All right, so one thing I wanted to do is turn this into a tabs page and maybe have a menu up here where you can go to an admin page to then add all of these courses in. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's jump into source. I'm going to create a new layout for this. Or maybe we could use this layout actually. It might be overkill. Yeah, maybe how about if you're an admin, you get a new menu item here where you can then go to the admin page where you add courses and stuff like that. That sounds good to me. So we'll jump into the user model. We need to make sure we can tag a user as an admin. So I'll come in here and we'll add a new attribute called is_admin. And we'll set that to a Boolean. There we go. And now when you create a user, I might as well just put it in that table. So let's jump into that index page. And I'm going to do a lot of cleanup in this. So let's come down here and find that. Oh, it's not in the index page, is it? It's the manage lessons page. There it is. And I want to find this users table and specifically the columns for that table. So let's go Control-Alt-M to open where that is. And there's the user columns. And then we'll just add another one here for isAdmin. Maybe at the start. No, it wouldn't be at the start, it'd be at the end. So come down there, is_admin. And then we'll just put in there admin for the title of that column. And then for the users table, we can go ahead and slot that in. Copy that. And this is called is_admin, sends down the scope, Q checkbox for that, VueModel.isAdmin. Cool. Don't think I need anything else there, so let's save it and see if that works. Okay, looks like it did. And now we can set that to either true or false. And how about we now jump into that user creator. Where is it? Users model collection. And we might add in here merge fields. I want to make it so that we can merge fields for create. So maybe we call that like create merge or create defaults. Let's see what it is in the API. It's called merge. Yeah, so how about we add another option here and we call it create merge, and we can just steal the typings for that. So where's the return? There it is. And there'll be something for merge down here. Okay, I might have missed it. Oh yeah, I'm in the wrong spot. That's the indexer. Use creator return. Here we go. No, not return. Options. Ha! Options. So we've got for merge. That's what that is. Okay. Use model collection. Create merge is equal to that. And I can probably just type this as form. I'll leave that as PNG form. All right, so now we've got create merge, which might be passed through, so we'll make that optional. And then I should be able to just send it through like this. Merge. And then we'll do options dot. And we'll just, yeah, and that's able to be undefined, so that's actually happy with that. Now what I should be able to do is come in here and say user creator, when you're creating, I want you to merge in some fields. So we can now say create merge, and I can add that in there. So isAdmin is equal to true. So whenever you're creating this, set admin to true by default. Yeah, false is probably a more sensible default though. So let's get rid of those users, create a new one, And now it's false by default. Whereas you'll notice if I get rid of that, it just sets it to undetermined because it sets it equal to null if it hasn't got a value in there. So that's kind of a cool little trick that we get using using VueModel. Okay, so we want a page for all of this stuff. I reckon we just say /admin and then we just add that into the main layout. Yeah, so we'll go main layout here. We got the header, we got the drawer. I'm going to jump into the drawer. And we're not using items, we're using tabs. I'm just going to get rid of all that. And we'll add another tab in here. Oh, hang on, it's just iterating over menu items. So this should be pretty easy to do. We can just tap into those menu items. There they are. Use main menu items. Okay, and I've done it in this way so that it can be dynamic if it needs to be, which is cool because now we can grab the authenticated user inside of this composable. So we can say const auth state, I think. It's called like use auth. Yeah, there we go. I might just call that auth. I'm sure that's fine. And then auth dot, what have we got here? Logged in. User, there we go. So we can grab the user and now we can grab is admin off there. So now I've got a way to know whether or not the user is the admin. And this is computed, so now we should be able to add in a new menu item quite easily here. What do these menu items look like? All right, so we'll just steal one of those. And what's the best way to do this? How about this? Const items is equal to, we'll just go base menu items like that. And I want a copy of that actually, so we'll do this. And then we'll just push that on there if the user is an admin. So then we can say auth.user.isAdmin, and we'll just put in an if statement there. So the user is an admin, then we're going to go ahead and push that item onto there. So items dot push, and that's where it will then slot in. Cool. Might just format that differently. The way I've done this was a little bit all over the place. It's kind of what happens when I think and code at the same time. Sometimes you end up with this weird kind of mess. Okay, so instead of MDI book, we can just say like MDI account maybe. No. This, how would you say admin? Maybe we'll just go settings. Or cog, I think is what that item is. What that icon is. And then we'll just say like admin here. Hey, Mr. Luke, may I ask you to talk about Superbase or any other full front end, just trying to build a full stack app. Superbase. Oh man, this is such a loaded topic. I love Superbase. I don't use it for my apps anymore. So the reason is kind of the way I see this kind of using these backends as a service. If you don't have a lot of experience with backends and you can get really far with that, then I don't really see any reason not to do it, especially early on in your career. And if that's working for you and the kind of projects that you want to build, because it does depend on the kind of projects, then go ahead and just use Superbase. But once you start wanting to do more back-endy type stuff, so once you start wanting to integrate with a whole bunch of different services, and you want to maybe scale a big application or build an application that you can use within an organization that might have like privacy concerns with their data, it gets a little bit more difficult to use something like Superbase, and you are going to run into brick walls eventually when you're using a backend like that, because it works so directly with its database. There are huge benefits with that. Like you get performance benefits, you can do things much more simply. So there's a lot of great things to say about Superbase, but you are eventually going to hit brick walls, and that might be pricing brick walls, or it might be certain things that you want to code are just more difficult to do with Superbase rather than using a backend like a Ruby or a Ruby on Rails or a Laravel. I like to use Laravel or something like that. It doesn't mean you can't solve just about any problem. Just about any problem you can solve with Laravel, you can probably solve with Supabase. But it does mean that some of these more complex problems can actually end up being more difficult. And so in the long run, I personally prefer to use something like a Laravel. Um, but especially if you're starting out, I think go for it. You might actually get through your entire career without learning a quote unquote fully fledged backend, and that's totally fine. So it's kind of hard to say. It really does depend on your use case. And you get someone like a Peter Levels who basically writes their whole thing in one PHP file. I don't think he does that anymore, but um, he just goes as simple as possible. And there are clearly some huge benefits to that. There are some brick walls that he would hit that other developers wouldn't. But for the stuff that he's building, it just makes sense. He just wants to build a SaaS product and get it out the door, and it's working for him. So that's just kind of my opinion on it, but you could probably get a million different takes on that. So I do like to learn a back end, and partly, to be honest with you, part of it is that I just want to be skilled, and I like the feeling of being more skilled at something. And I get that from learning Laravel. It's just I feel like I'm more in control of the thing that I'm building. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. You can actually use something like Laravel with Supabase. So what you could do is you could start with Supabase, and then later on, if you feel like you need the flexibility, you could probably, like, I don't know how difficult it would be to integrate the authentication so that you can, authenticate with Supabase, but then still hit a Laravel. But I don't really know what that would look like. But yeah, there's options there. I personally like to do the whole backend myself. I don't think it's that much upfront work, especially once you've learnt it. And yeah, and look, to be honest, you're probably going to be more hireable in the future if that matters to you as well. Being somebody that has that extra knowledge of how to build backends. But I don't know. Don't believe a word I just said. Just explore and find what works for you. That was very political of me. I'm not sure I entirely believe that. I do think what I said is true. Okay, so we should have this new item showing up now. So that's example menu item. I want to get rid of that from the base item. So the base item is just going to be empty now. And that will be something in the future. So I'll let it stick around. But for now, we'll just make that an empty array. Okay. So now our item's not showing up because we're not... Hang on, I thought I had a menu item here. Oh, you have to go to a lesson in order to see that. Hang on. So we got the course layout, and inside of there, I had this sticky. Yeah, so I want to grab that page sticky, and I want to add it to the main layout as well. And it was put, yeah, here just underneath the router view. Okay, so then we can just basically steal this code that says use auth, save that, and we should get that now. There we go. So now we can say logged in user and then select a user there. All right, so moving on, let's create a user that we can log in as. And I should say log in, quote unquote, in quotations, because we're not really logging in. We're just kind of mimicking logging in since this is a prototype. And then we'd say, for example, Luke Debo, which is my name. Oh, something doesn't look right here. User columns. Notes. Okay, there's definitely no notes for a user. Name, admin, and then destroy. Yeah, that looks right. So then Luke is going to be an admin, and then let's just call this person customer, and they're not an admin. So now we can select them from the menu here. Oh, that's not showing up. Let's try again. Okay, so I needed to do a refresh. I wonder why that is. Let's jump into the use auth. So it jumps into the user repo. What about getting all the users? Yeah, users indexer. Yeah, so rather than getting the records from there, I'm just going to say repo.or, which is kind of like a way to bypass pagination. But that's not going to be computed anymore. So let's just come down here and say const users is equal to computed. And then we'll return usersindexer.repo.or. All right, and now I can basically just return that like so. And I'm hoping that means that that'll just show up in the list now. So we can create a new user, call this person John. Yeah, okay, that's still not showing up in the list. Users, computed, goes directly from the repo. And then we say auth.users to show, okay, maybe we just need a refresh. This really doesn't matter. So if this doesn't work, I'm not going to push on. It's just a non-issue. Yeah, okay, that's working now. I just needed to refresh the page. Cool. All right, so now we can add users and basically mimic logging in as that user. So I'm going to select myself. Ugh, what's going on here? Looks like we might have a loop or something. Items.push is not a function. Okay, so I can guess where that would be. Inside of the main menu. No, not the main layout menu. We go to the main layout. The menu items in that main layout. So it's saying this is not an array. Aha, that should have been an array. So let's try that. Refresh the page. And then we'll go ahead and try and, there we go, that's working. So I can mimic logging in as Luke Diebold. And now that shows up, the little admin button. But if I'm someone who's not an admin, like the customer, it doesn't show up. There we go. So this is really great for prototyping because then you can just say to the to whoever you're prototyping for, this is what it looks like when an admin is logged in. Bam. And you now get this admin route. Otherwise, that doesn't show up. Okay. So next up, we want to jump into our routes here. Instead of example, let's just piggyback off of this here. And we'll make this, we'll just call it admin, keep it simple. And then we'll call that admin page. Now let's jump into the example page. And we'll rename that as admin page. Okay, often when you do page-related stuff, I've found that I've had to delete .quasar. I'm pretty sure that happens for me anyway when I restart the dev server because I set it up that way. It takes a second because it reinstalls VueModel so that it uses my local version, which is why that takes a little second to run. And instead of example, that should be admin. Maybe that's all I had to do. Change that to admin. Let's have a look here. Admin page. Oh, okay. Admin page / admin page. So we need to make sure the folder there is also correct. Admin page. Refresh. Okay, now we're once again getting that kind of weird caching issue. I wonder if I can just delete that without restarting the server. Probably not. Now, well, let's try it again. All right, so when that's running, I should be able to go into there, which will open up my admin page. And there we go. So now that kind of manage lessons page, I'm basically going to take that and put it into the admin page. Yeah, maybe we even, hang on, what's the best way to do this? Instead of example, that should be admin. I don't know why that even worked. Okay, let's think about this. So we want logged in as Luke. I want to have all of the different tables just shown in a Q tabs component. Yeah, let's just cut all of this and then paste it in admin page. And then we'll just get rid of manage lessons. No, don't redo any of that. Delete. And now we jump into routes. We don't have this lessons route anymore. We just have the admin route because we're doing it that way now. And now for manage lessons page, I'm going to copy that and then paste this inside of admin page. Okay, I don't want this section anymore that kind of shows all the videos. That was something I was testing. So we can get rid of the commented out code there. And we might do a little bit of, I can delete this. We'll do a little bit of refactoring. Hi, just a question. I'm working with Quasar at my job, and we're using our dashboard as a tab style. After creating tabs dynamically and uniquely, hot reload stopped working completely. Yeah, I can see how that could be a problem. Totally unable to debug. We need to refresh the page to load the changes that have been made to the pages that have already been assembled. They're not automatically reassembled. Have you ever seen anything similar? I actually think I have seen something similar where hot module reload doesn't work for some components. And I think I could be wrong about this. First of all, I'm pretty sure it's a Vite problem. Um, Not a problem with Vite itself. I'm just saying I'm pretty sure it works with Webpack. And I think it might have been fixed in the new version of Quasar. So Quasar is currently using Vite, I'm going to say 2 or 3 under the hood. Whereas the new version of Quasar, which is currently in beta, is using Vite 5 under the hood from memory. So if you say, for example, pm create Quasar, give that a second to run. App with Quasar, blah, blah, blah. Oh, hang on. I need to give it a directory that hasn't already been used. Yeah, you'll notice that we've now got Quasar CLI with Vite 5, but it's currently in beta. So that's going to be out soon, and that might fix the problem. You might even want to like try this with a similar setup to see if it fixes it. Otherwise, I'm not really sure. Honestly, you might just have to refresh the page for now. Yeah, I'd have to do some sort of digging to figure out more deeply what that problem is. Okay, so we're actually about to use the QTabs component though. And what I might try and do also is put these into their own components. And I also want to maybe try and use Pina to manage all of this data here. Yeah, let's see what that would look like. So I'm thinking something like this. Let's call this use admin page. And then I can say export const use admin page is equal to define store. All right, and we'll call this admin page. Do our return there. And now I'm just going to look at taking all of these composables. Yeah, probably all of that actually. Service. And putting that inside of this use admin page. There we go. So we'll just whack it directly in there. Let's go full screen. Oop. Okay, so now let's get everything imported. Lesson, user, how are we going? Note, course, resource. We got our use file composable, our nifty use file composable. Bulk update form. All right, and now we just need to expose all of this. That'll do. I think that'll be enough. So now let's save that. And I think I might be able to just do this. Const, and we can probably destructure as well because none of these are raw refs. They're all composables. So this might actually work. Use admin page. And that needs an equal sign. And then let's go ahead and just whack all those things in there. And it's probably easy just to copy this. Let's see if this works. I've never done it this way before just because I haven't really played much with Pina. I usually do things with the raw composition API. But now I'm sort of slowly starting to come to the bright side, dark side, whatever you want to call it, and using Pina more. So that looks a little bit prettier. It's really easy to just dive into whatever you need to dive into. And let's see if it still works. Looks like it's working. Cool. All right, so we've now extracted that. But now that we're using this Pina store, we should be able to just use it in each individual table. So we can now easily break this down into tables. So let's just create a folder here called tables, plural. And I'll create a folder for each one. So let's just say, for example, manage courses table, manage notes table, manage resources table. Look, honestly, maybe the word manage is redundant here. I like the word manage though, just because it tells you that it's not just a table that shows that thing. It tells you that it's a table that you can kind of edit that thing. So maybe you could call it manage or CRUD or whatever, but I want to keep things simple because I don't want to overcomplicate things for people following along. So lessons table, let's start dragging these things where they belong. Okay, I'm just going to click never there. I like to fix them up myself just because I don't really trust it yet. Use admin page, and then we got user. Okay, so we'll have manage users table as well, or users table. User columns. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so now we can just create everything, and it should be pretty copy pastable at this point. And that's one of the things I like about global state with something like Pina. It is copy pastable. You just got to be careful because it means you can't have multiple instances. And so, you can use something like provide inject to rectify that. I don't know if Pina has that. I should look that up. Does Pina have a way to do provide and inject built in? Let's take something out. Doesn't look like it, so it might provide using a store outside. Oh no, that's not what I'm looking for. Maybe we'll look for like inject here. Yeah, so it looks like it just tells you to manually use provide and inject, which would make sense. Okay, anyway, I digress. That's really not important for most people. Most people aren't building apps where they have to worry about that. So, okay, let's carry on. Make this full screen again. And I'm just going to paste this all over the place and then just change the first word. Courses. There's probably a quicker way I could have done this, but I've already started. Lessons, notes. Resources. And users is done. Cool. So let's get my template and paste it in all of these. And they're all also going to need the store as well. Get rid of all that. Get rid of all that. This is going to massively clean this part up. And I don't think we're even going to need this composable at all. So now we can copy that. And I'll just paste it in all of them and then just delete what we don't need. Yeah, let's just do that. All right, we're getting there. So now it shouldn't be too difficult to open up the admin page and just start kind of whacking everything in its right place. So let's find the users table. There it is there. And I'll grab the table on its own. Go, cut that, and then just paste it directly in here. So this is something that's important to me, that the table is the root component. So you don't include the div, you don't include any styling. I always want that component with the word table at the end to actually be a table component. It means you can easily pass props down to this component. You don't have to do any proxying of props and then dealing with classes ending up where they shouldn't be or anything like that. And then if you ever want to style this, you then just do it from the outside. So in this case, you would then just use that component here and wrap it inside of a div. So I like to try and keep my components pure, especially when you're working with other developers. They'll love you for this if you can follow this rule. All right, so we've got our users columns. We can just import icons and other bits and pieces. There we go. TypeScript gives us a great idea. The linter in TypeScript tells us where to go. Now we just get rid of anything that we don't need. And that's it. So that should be a successful refactor. And now for now, we can just put that directly back in here. Users table. And it should be that simple. So let's try this with the other ones. Resources, notes, lessons, courses. I'll just open them one after the other so that when I close the other one, it will show up. And now we can jump into courses and steal this. See how quickly I can get this done. Cut that, paste it in there, save it, get rid of any composables that aren't being used. Get some of these imports happening. And then we've got the courses table showing up here. Okay, next we've got lessons. And so we'll come down here and steal that. Cut it. Lessons table. Might as well get it imported now. Paste that in there. Save it. Get rid of what's not being used. Man, the editor just makes this stuff so much easier. There we go. And then we got notes. Okay. And cut that. I don't think we really need the notes table, but so I might actually end up getting rid of this, but we'll keep it for now. Because notes is something that a user has when they write notes on a course. Not sure it makes a lot of sense to have a table for it. Okay, so that's that done. Notes. Table. Resources. Okay, I think that might be it. How much nicer is this looking already? Paste it in there. Boom, boom. Whoop, got rid of something I shouldn't have. Get those columns in, get that plus icon in. Now this is actually correct and it seems to be working fine. Might change the way how that's done, but I won't look at it right now. Okay. So now look at this. None of that's being used, so we can get rid of that. None of those icons are being used. So this is beautifully cleaned up. So this we have this nice entry point now where it's like, okay, here's the admin page. I want to work with the admin page and I want to jump into the users table. So I can just control click it. And this is what I am liking about Pina. The fact that it's kind of a global store by default means that I can sort of easily just, use my store and share it amongst all of these components. Okay, so refreshing the page. Looks like everything is still working. Try a refresh. Nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now that we've done that refactor, I want to put all of these in tabs. So we're going to use a tabs component. Let's actually start at the top here. Q tabs. And then we'll have Q tab panels. And let's go ahead and grab all of these. And we want a panel for each one. So let's change that into a Q tab panel. And I'll do that for all of these. You, and you. You're all Q tab panels now. And now everything needs to be modeled and have a name and all that jazz. So let's say const current tab is equal to a ref. And I could type this. I'm really not sure it's worth it though. How about we make it courses by default? And I could model this with data. Again, I'm not sure it's actually worth it. So let's just add them in manually for now. Name is equal to courses, and then we'll give it a label equal to courses. And I think I'll do no caps on that because I think it looks better. So we've got courses and a few others. Lessons, courses, lessons, notes, resources, users. Notes, resources, users. Nice, got it in one. Okay, I'm not going to worry about capitalizing it. Oh, what I could do is we could go label, grab all of those, Control-Shift-P, title, and make it a title case. It's a quick way to do that. And now here we can vmodel whatever the current tab is. Nice. Okay, so this is still looking pretty clean, which I like. Current tab, make sure it's modeled there as well. And I think we can say like animated or something like that. Let's just see what that looks like. And all right, none of that's showing up. So what have I done wrong? Q, oh, okay, Q tab panel. Ooh, I bet you saw that. Q tab panels, Q, aha. Control Shift L to select all of those and make that Q tab panel. All right, and of course they all need a name as well. So let's grab them from the top down. Copy. And then I'll paste them in all these spots. Actually, there's a quicker way to do this. Let's do, what is the fastest way to do this? Let's do that. Good reference point. Check they're all right, lessons, notes, that is wrong. Okay, so this didn't work out. Resources is actually there. Users is actually there. Save it and let the linter do its work. Nice. I think the animation looks a bit shitty though, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Now I want to try and get the sizing of this right. So I want that tab to take up the full height and preferably the table as well. So let's have a look at how we might tackle that. Also, how do we get that shadow back in for the table? Maybe like a Q padding or extra small. Let's try that on courses, see what that looks like. No. Yeah, okay, if I put a margin on that, then I get that padding back in, but then we have to, oh, we won't usually get the scroll bar though, because it'll be wider. Oh no, we still get the scroll bar. That's ugly. Oh, what's the best way to tackle this? Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. And look, honestly, maybe keeping it flat looks better. I actually don't mind that. One thing I do tend to do is get rid of the padding that we get by tab panels by default. So I don't really like the padding that it gives us. Where is it? Yeah. I know, these are the decisions that I need to make. Tab panels. Oh, maybe I already got rid of it. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I did. Cool. So let's bring this back over here and now start thinking about how we'll style this. Let's get rid of all the padding in the page and see what that looks like. All right, I think that actually looks a lot better. And then we want to full height all of this. So this is where we do like that mad height trick. I might have it on the index page. No, I don't. Maybe on the lesson page. There it is. I love this. So basically we have a style function here that sets, instead of the min height, I'm going to set that equal to the actual height. So the height should never go beyond essentially whatever the screen space is in here. And that just allows us to do some nicer things with scrolling. So we can scroll down the page without these tabs hiding, for example. And, okay, what's the best way to tackle this? So now what I'll do is I'll say, this is a column. And then we won't put any flex related stuff on the tabs, but we'll tell the tab panels to take up all the space that it can by saying col there. There we go. So that's now taking up all the space that it can. And this is the part that I've often had trouble with. I also want this tab panel to take up as much space as it can. I suppose it doesn't matter, because I think as you add more in, oh, what's going on? Why can't I add any more in? Huh. I've broken something. Let's try a refresh. Oh, no, it seems to be working. All right, who knows? Yeah, okay, so I can scroll down here, but what I'd really, really like is to make it so that the table gets scrolled and so that we don't lose this plus button up here. It's only a small thing, but for some reason, I've always had trouble doing this with QTab panels. So let's get started and see what we can do here. Now, I think what I need to do is set this equal to the full height and then set the tab panel also equal to full height. And maybe the table as well. Okay, so that worked. Holy crap. Okay, it was that simple. Nice. And let's see if we can get the page sticky thing going as well. So I'm going to jump into the Quasar docs because I know they got some copy pastable code for this. Sticky. If I type that in, they should have something about this in the table component. Yeah, here we go. So there's a sticky header and column. So let's just do sticky header. So I can steal this style tag for that. And I do remember changing it a little bit. So let's do this. Jump into our SCSS file. Yeah, here we go. And I'm just going to do it directly in here for now. Oop, but we don't want the style tag. And this is written in Sass. Do I really want to convert this? I really don't. Okay, so let's do this. Let's undo all that. Come down here, create a style tag here, and say that the lang is equal to Sass. Then we'll paste it in here. Bugger, lost the copy. Copy that, paste it in there, and get rid of that style tag. Okay. So instead of my sticky header, I'm just going to change this to Q-table sticky header. Yeah, I think that works better. Now, I'm pretty sure all I have to do is come in here to the table. Where is it? There we go. And say Q-table sticky header. All right, so it looks like, I mean, it looks ugly, but it looks like that worked. And I want to get rid of the pagination on this. Hang on, let's get rid of those colors first. I really don't like this. Background color, white. Nice. And now we need to fix some of the pagination related stuff. Oh, okay. It's because the records per page is equal to 5 by default. So let's just change that to maybe like 15. Okay. Control-Alt-click all of these. And we want to say, I believe it's like rows per page options. There we go. And I'm just going to change that to like 15, 50, 100. Okay, close that out. Do it for notes. Users. What? That can't be right. I'm sure there was more than that. Messed up somewhere and lost a couple of them. Okay, cool. So there we go. We get more rows per page by default. We get that nice sticky header. This is looking good. I would have liked that table to take up all the space, but do I really want to spend more time on this? Yeah, I mean, it really just doesn't matter. And I always tend to go overboard with this kind of stuff. So let's just add those classes in and then move on. Oh, that fixed it anyway. Ha! Cool. So now we've got this really nice sort of admin page. And by the way, this is something that you could totally have for new projects. So when you're prototyping, you could just have an admin page here ready to go that's got some Q tabs so that the user can easily just come to this page, add in some data, and then come back into the menu and then go back to like the rest of your app. So it can work as like a really nice starting point. Okay. So we'll jump into courses here. delete a bunch of these. And I will jump into the courses table and just add the loading spinner there, just to check that I can get this working. Course model collection. And for destroy, we can say loading is equal to course model collection dot destroying. Okay, and we're going to coerce that to a Boolean. Actually, no, this will be, we want to be able to say destroying is equal to the ID of the row that's currently being destroyed. Whoop. Okay, let's try that again. So that's working, but why is it not? Why are new ones not showing up sometimes? I don't know. All right, it seems to be working again. Okay, so now that this is working, and it looks pretty nice to me, I now want to take this Pina concept and put it into the courses page because it ended up a little bit gross. I'm not really happy with the course page. So we'll jump into layouts. We have our course layout here. I'm not really sure that this needs its own layout though. Why did we create a separate layout just for this? Oh, it's because I wanted all the courses to show up in the drawer. But maybe rather than having a drawer, you just have a section here and then just make it so that the user can maximize the YouTube video anyway. Yeah, actually, I reckon that'll look better. Okay, so we're going to have to, unfortunately, insert some more data again here. So I'm just going to come to my bottom screen and find a bunch of YouTube videos and smack them in there. Okay, so jump into my channel. Come on, here we go, your videos. And we'll get rid of those. Find one of my playlists. And we've got a Quasar helping friends out playlist. That'll do. Videos. Sorry, I'm just doing this on the bottom screen. Get shareable link. Let's see if I can just paste it directly in there. So we'll say helping friends out. Helping dash friends dash out. That'll do. Helping peeps dot dot dot. That's fine. And then we would go to lessons. There's probably a nicer way to do this, where maybe you can expand this and then add lessons, but that's okay. So let's jump into this first one, and I'm just gonna like vaguely copy some of these headings. Can I just go copy text? Copy link text is what I'm looking for. Doesn't look like that's supported. Google Chrome. Okay, let's open them in separate tabs. Okay, here we go. Helping a friend with testing. We're going to need a few more. Yeah, again with that plus button not working. You know, something's going on here. I paste that in there, refresh the page, go back to lessons, and it's gone. Okay, so let's jump into application, IndexedDB, and we're on the lessons. And they're all there. But the title isn't changing. Or is it changing? And maybe the form's just not generating properly. No title, no title, no title, no title, no title. Okay, so I might have some dodgy code here that's making that not. Oh wait, now it's showing. Am I going crazy? Or did I just paste that in? No, it's not. Yeah, all right. So let's go to the lessons table. We got our lesson model collection. So let's look at that. Immediately make forms true. So the moment it gets the lessons, it should be making the forms. Ah, I thought we had something here though that was calling index by default to make those forms. No, that can't be the case because they're all showing there. Okay, hang on. Let's go back to the other page. It was the lesson page. And how was this before? Oh no, that's for the lesson. Manage lessons, but I've already deleted that. Ah, bugger. I think it does it in use model collection anyway. It already calls an index. No, it doesn't look like it does. All right, so what about courses though? Yeah, okay, again, it's also just doesn't seem to be saving anything. What have I done wrong here? So it gets modeled there. Pretty sure the forms are being made. And are we telling them to update as well? Yeah, auto update debounce is set to true. Bugger, I might have to try and fix this behind the scenes. Testing title. Okay, how about we jump into that and we say on success. Console.log updated. Okay, so that's going through. But if we jump into courses. Okay, but now that's showing up. Ah, am I going crazy? Okay, yeah, that is working. Application. Local lessons. Let's just delete all of these so I can sort of do it from scratch. What? Okay, this whole thing gone crazy now. Oh, crap, I'm back on courses. Blah, blah. Bugger. All right. What can I do about this? Let's try deleting that database, just in case something went wrong there, and refreshing the page. Yeah, okay, so it looks like there's some vue model stuff that needs to be fixed here. Updated. Application. I'll just try to refresh first. No. I might have pasted the wrong component in here, so I could also just check that. Because it's creating it, but it's not updating it. Let's just try another one of these. Notes. created it, and also didn't update it. All right. So let's jump back into the use model collection. Oh, I'm already there. Auto update true. We're console.logging when there's an update. Let's get the response out of that. Just to see if there's something weird going on there. Do a refresh. Yeah, okay, it's picking it up, but it's just something's gone wrong with the update. Bugger. But the users table is working. Man, this is just really baffling me. Okay, let's jump back into the composable. That's kind of the only thing that's changed. That we're now using this use admin page composable. Now, users is working. It's got immediately make forms true. So does that. So they all look the same. So it could be the component itself. So let's take a look at the lessons table component. It's got lesson columns. And those columns are title, slug, video ID, description, title, slug, video URL, description. Oh, it won't fit in there. That creates the lesson. We've got all the forms that go through there. The forms get modeled. I mean, maybe I could try and show the forms. Top left. Show me in a pre-tag all of my forms. Yeah, that's what I'd expect. But now let's see if they actually change as you type something into the form. Okay. But first we'll probably have to not set the max height anymore so we can see the table. Oh man, there's got to be a better way to do this. Okay, I'm just going to do a dodge and do a console log with a timeout. It's a quick way to get an answer here. Set timeout, maybe like 7 seconds. And then we'll just console.log that. It might have something to do with the unwrapping that no, that wouldn't happen because why would some of them work and then other ones not work? Makes no sense. Makes no sense, damn it. Okay, so let's save that. Refresh the page. Go to lessons and put in a title here. There's our forms. There's the form. And there's the title. Okay, so that tells me that somewhere along the line, it's just not getting into IndexedDB. Yeah, right. I'm probably gonna have to dive into VueModel to figure out what's going on here. Damn it. Really hoping that most of these kind of bugs are solved by now. What do I change? Yeah, that's fine. So I'd like to know It's probably got something to do with the thing that checks for changed values. Yeah. So in the use bulk updated driver, how about we say when you perform an update and you get those changed values, I want to see what they are. Console.log, there's changed values. And then what's the quickest way to do this? We'll jump into core, we'll run watch. Right. That should finish building. And now I should be able to just run the server again because it automatically deletes my node modules and stuff like that. Make sure that it installs correctly. And this should at least give me a little bit of information about whether or not it's picking up those change values. It's going to be a slow way to debug. New title. Hang on, that might only be options param.forms. Why? Okay, that's only if it's passed as an option. Changed. So where do we get the changed values? It would be sitting somewhere on the metadata. So let's jump into the perform update and I'll just step through what's happening. Okay, if there's changed values, that gets added into the form that changed. Find out whether or not we persist. Okay, we get the request. Might have something to do with what's going on here. We get all the record changes. Ugh, okay, this part's complicated. Okay, if it's... Okay, this is only going through the belongs to relationships though. This is all the sync stuff. We should probably check for errors actually. I haven't even checked for errors in the response. Okay, we got success true there. But we don't get any records back. Actually, what? Have I pinned the version of Pina ORM? Yep, it's pinned to 1.7. And I don't think I can even check the store. No, I can't. For reasons I won't go into right now. Essentially, I got two versions of Pina running, and it doesn't like that. Okay, this could be handy. We got this response and then the sync responses. So let's do a log of those. And I'll add a bit of context in there. Okay. Let's see how that goes. And then we'll have to restart the dev server as well. That should be built. Yep. Ah, fingers crossed. I might have to stop this stream soon because I doubt that people are going to be interested in this debugging experience, which looks like it might take some time. And it doesn't even look like it's picked up those view model changes. pdev should be running, if I jump into package.json, removes .quasar, removes node modules, the queue cache, updates view model and local storage. Yeah, that should be right. So I should be getting the latest version of view model. Okay. But I'm not seeing this console log. All right, let's just copy that and just check whether or not it's actually a problem of getting those modules in or something else. So, view model, core, jump into the dist. Huh. Oh no, there it is. So that doesn't make sense. Why would it not even be hitting that point in the code? Hang on, I'm going to be more aggressive here. Let's delete the entire node modules, .quasar, and my pnpm lock. Doubt I needed to do all of that, but in the meantime, I'll think, why would I not get to this point, but I got a success response? Yeah, those callbacks don't even get called until further down the line, so there's obviously something sort of messed up. Cache that shouldn't be cached. Right, we done? Luckily, pnpm does this stuff pretty quickly. All right. So the response comes back with the record. Changed. Okay, and it is actually changing as well. Oh, hang on. Courses is working though. All right, so we wanted to test it with lessons. So first, response comes back, but there's no record. Why would there be no records in that response? Okay, so at least I can dig deeper now. So now we want to see what's actually being sent in that request. So let's go to the point where the request is made, which is up here. And it's sending through a clone of the changes. So let's do a console.log and say changes, and then paste that in. We don't really need the clone. I mean, who knows? Maybe the clone's screwing something up, so I might as well keep that in there. All right. Run that again. And let's see if we can, have we got, yeah, let's disable caching in the network tab. That might be what was screwing it up last time, giving us some dependencies that were stale. Okay, it's taking longer now, which is a good sign. Now we go to lessons, new. Okay, cool. Ha! All right, now we've got some progress. So the way the changes are created isn't working. It's not picking up those changes. All right, so now we need to find where that's happening. I've got an idea of where that would happen. So in use form maker, this is where we make the form, and then we do a watch for any changes. Here we go. And then when that updates, we say get form changes, and I bet you that there's an error somewhere inside of here that's causing us to not get those changes. Okay, so we get the old record. Okay, then we say for each form, oh God. So that's not triggering. So we are finding the new record. I bet you there's like an if statement that checks whether or not there's a value in there. Hang on. So let's do this then. If I do change on that, refresh the page. Aha. So that doesn't work when I get rid of anything on it. Oh wait, now it does work. I probably just refreshed the page too quickly. Again. And now what about adding data back in? And it works. So this only, I think it might only be happening on the stuff that's got relationships. So let's try it on a resource. My resource. Okay, refresh the page. Nope. That's not working either. But it does have belongs to many relationships. But then so does a user. User. Yeah, I wonder if this actually is related to Pina. New user. Wait. Because this was definitely working in this video. Huh. All right, so that's telling. Just give it more time. Nah, none of that worked. Okay, so this might actually have something to do with Pina's unwrapping, or the fact that I'm kind of destructuring here. All right, here's something I can test. We call this admin page, and now we always grab these through the admin page. Why is it not showing me errors now? Okay, here we go. So say admin page dot, we'll copy that. Let's see if that changes anything. So it might just be something weird going on with the unwrapping. And that was on lessons. So we give that a title. No, still not working. But courses is working, and there is just no difference between them. The course, okay, so lesson has got a many-to-many. What about note? Yeah, it's got a many-to-many as well, but I think it is working, isn't it? Oh no, maybe it's not. So it's not working. Actually, none of them are working except for courses. So then I wonder if it's got something to do with these tabs. That would just be bizarre. All right, we'll try it anyway, though. I'm up for trying anything right now. What's the quickest way to do this? Let's grab all of these. Whoops. Copy them. Get rid of all of the panels. And then just paste them in there. Refresh the page. All right, looks terrible, but at least we can try this. Lesson. Type in some text. Refresh. And now it's working. What the F? What? That's working? What? I have no idea what that's all about. Why? Oh my God, why? Okay, let's try updating a few things here. So make sure Quasar is up to date. 2170. Yeah, isn't that funny? What are the chances that you would have a Q tab problem and then I jump into Q tab and have the same problem? Like, there's got to be some weird sort of twist of fate there. Yeah, all right. I might even. You know what? Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna create a new project that uses Quasar with the beta CLI, and I'm gonna basically just drag all these files onto there and see what happens. It's a pretty small project anyway. Okay, so let's say pm create Quasar, and we'll call this conf-de-vue-workshop. Okay. Quasar version 2, TypeScript, using v8.5, that's fine. Quasar, let's call this Vue Germany Workshop Project. Vue Germany Workshop Project. Me, composition script, SCSS. We will use Pina, and that's it. We'll use standard. Yes, use PNPM. Okay, so we'll get that installed. And then what's the best way to do this? Probably just to get to the two projects side by side. Okay, and we're going to need to steal a bunch of code. So that's just installing, and it's done. Conf D, I'm just opening this on my bottom screen. Let's get that bad boy opened up. On the bright side, there's a lot of cool stuff with the new Quasar. Like being able to configure things inside of a TypeScript file and use proper imports, which I've wanted forever. Oh, there's quite a few little bits and pieces I do like to get up and running. But anyway, for now, we'll jump into our boot file. We'll paste those in there. Source, boot, CSS, VueModel. And yeah, that's fine. What else? We are using history mode. I know that by default that is not set to history mode. And we are using these auto import plugins. Veep plugins. Okay, that one we'll leave as is. That one I'll paste in there. Oops. It's the Uno CSS one. Okay, let's keep cracking. So the other thing I wanted to do, yeah, with the, I don't know, hang on, this is a different thing. Yeah, the different packages. There is a setting in the Veep plugin checker so you can hide the pop-up by default. I'll do that later. Icon set. Definitely want to set that. So we'll copy that, paste it in there. We definitely want the notify plugin. And that's probably about it. So next up, let's get rid of the index page and replace it with our index page and all these other pages as well. Basically everything except the error page. So we get that pasted in there. Router, and it won't be an indexed. Just jump into here. Get those pasted in. Should have done this ages ago. All of our modules. Paste it in there. Layouts. Also grab both of those and paste them in there and get rid of main layout.vue. Okay, I think we must be getting close now. I like to have a helpers file. So let's paste that in there. What's it doing currently? Oh, we got that use file and use login things. We're doing anything fancy in app.vue? No. I don't put any of my stores in the stores directory, so nothing to see there. If anything, I'll just delete that. Yeah. Okay. Let's steal that dev install script. And now we want to grab all of these dependencies. Now this is not going to be that straightforward. So that, 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 that. I don't even know what that is. All right, let's leave that out. And I think just those dependencies. The rest, we can just leave it as they are. I want the later pina. Oh, bugger. I bet there's a bunch of these as well. Yeah, we got Uno CSS. Inflection. I do this for use these for some of my generator stuff. The actual Uno CSS. Definitely want Vue Dev Tools. Okay, that should do. Next up, ESLint rules. There's one rule that I always like to have. Yeah, the tag order. Yeah, we'll just do that one for now. Then I can just opt out of once as I go. Okay, let's see how we go for now. P dev. There's probably other things in dev dependencies I'm missing actually. Yeah, that'll definitely be required. Oh, it should not be in dependencies. It should be in dev dependencies. Oh no, dependencies, because it's also got functions. We really don't need Cypress. I'm not going to use it for now. Okay, cross env not found. P add -d cross env. All right, so that's opened. We have some errors. Let's start working through them. Source helpers. Okay, so that looks to me like there's aliases that aren't set up. Okay, Quasar config, alias. Where do these go? Build, and we'll just whack those aliases in there. We need path as well. Okay, but that is imported differently. It's now import path from path. Is that how it's done? I think it's as simple as that. Okay, do it. Oh, hang on. Change case. I think change case has changed their API a little bit, which might be causing this problem. Oh no, haven't even added it at all. Okay, so let's grab that and put it in our dev dependencies. And run dev again. Get an idea for what else is going wrong. Yeah, I don't really care about linting errors. So let's say p lint -- fix. And then I'm going to look at how we can lighten that linter as well, so it's not so fussy. Okay. So a couple of these Vite plugins, I need to make sure that they're up to date. That should be fine. But there was one, yeah, auto import, because that might actually not support the latest Vite yet. Okay. Run pdev, because that automatically runs install anyway. Okay, I think we're getting there. What is this? Use QTable paginator. Okay, we got auto import now. So if I restart the server, hang on, I bet you this is wrong in the other project as well. Use QTable paginator. Oh God, I don't know. Okay, so it's having trouble with importing Uno CSS. That's because I haven't even got it here. All right. P add Uno CSS. Would you make that a dev dependency? Yeah, I think you would. What else? Those ones should definitely work. Okay, so it's index page / index page, which we definitely have. Okay, so let's just give it another try. Oh, okay, that's added. So let's try develop again. Getting there. Okay, so decorators. Right, that totally makes sense. So the other thing I did not check is my TS config. So let's jump into the TS config here, and we are using experimental decorators. Let's just throw that one on the side. Of course, and we also need the paths here. I'm going to throw that, and I'll do it under exclude. Okay. Shut this down, start it up again. Let's see how we're going. You'll be right, mate. Hey, okay. Next, we've got colors. Not that that really matters much. That will be under variables, Quasar variables. So let's jump in here and say variables. I'm pretty sure that file is basically the same thing. So do that. And jump into the admin page. Okay, we're finally getting somewhere. Now I want this to be closed by default. Okay, and the way I do that, if I can just kick my brain into gear. All right, I know how to find out. That's what really matters. So we'll jump into Quasar config. And we want plugins, and we want to see how to hide this by default. Hide by default. Hide. Oh, initial is open. That's what I want. Initial is open inside of, looks like that's within overlay. Okay. Overlay. Initial is open, false. Oops. Go. So now, I think we should still get it showing up. There we go. It still shows up, but by default, it's not open. So we still get it there, which is helpful, but it's not kind of in our base. Okay, so let's have a little play around here now and see if things are working. All right, they're not. So it looks like it might actually be related to the tabs component. Do is maybe just take it out of the tabs component. Oh, is my computer frozen? Oh dear. Oh, no, we're back. All right, where's OBS? Hopefully you can all still hear me okay. I'm going to throw this over on the other screen. Throw that over there. And God, man, I don't know what to do now that this isn't working. We need a better solution. Oh, how about instead of using tab panels, we use something else. So let's go admin page. That should be auto-imported. What's going on here? Oh, I bet your unplugin auto-import has got some ESLint settings that we need. So I'm going to close out of VueModel for now. Throw that on another screen. Open this up. ESLint. Nope. Okay, so unplugin auto import. Let's just search for that and see what it does. Tells us to do for the install. Vite. That's literally it. You just say auto import options. Okay, and they got view as a preset. So we jump into here, we say auto import imports view. Yeah, and we're getting the global import file. There it is. Okay. One of those is ref. Oh, I bet you I need to point to this in my TypeScript file or something like that. Ah, DTS true. Maybe that's what it is. And that's already set to true. ESLint RC. What's that about? Generate corresponding ESLint RC auto import JSON. Okay. There it is there. I bet you we need to point to that. So is there any docs on this? Yep. It's under extends here. Okay. So I didn't see that before though. Extends. Yeah, what the hell? Oh. Extends. Oh, yep, there it is. Okay, so it was there and I just missed it. Okay. So now that that's done, we should be able to restart our server. We probably don't even need to restart it. I'll do it anyway. And a lot of those errors should go away. So we've got 102 right now. That should at least reduce it a bit. Ooh. Okay, that's supposed to be in compiler options. That will mess things up. I mean, this is pretty much a tutorial now on how to upgrade a Quasar project. Or one way to do it. Okay, sweet. 25, is that going to go up? 43. Yeah, not by much. And it's just a few things like this. I want that to be a warning, not an error, because that's really annoying when you're developing. Rules. And we'll just set that equal to warn. Yeah, that's just the define but never used. Okay, I think that should be enough. We should be able to continue now. I'm just curious. Yeah, okay. So we'll jump into our admin page. And we basically did that update and it didn't fix the whole QTable thing, but that's okay. Now, there is one thing I do want to check with QTabs, which is the keep option. So I wonder if that will fix anything here. And it's not under tabs, but it's under tab panels. Keep alive. I wonder if that will change anything. Because I know that does something to do with making sure the component just sticks around when you change tabs. So let's say blah in there. Do a refresh. Holy crap, I think that worked. Okay, let's get rid of keep alive. Refresh the page. Test. Do a refresh. And it's not there anymore. So, all right, there we go. We can just change that to keep alive. And it seems to have fixed our problem. Oh my goodness. Now I think we might finally be ready. I mean, the good thing is I'm sort of hitting all these problems now. So hopefully other people in the workshop won't hit it. Is that delete button not hooked up? Maybe not. Okay, resource table Delete. Oh, it's deleting the wrong thing. Resource model collection dot delete. Yeah, it looks like some copy paste stuff went wrong there. Oh, wrong component. Yay! All right, so now we jump into courses. We're going to create a new course, and we will call this helping friends out with Quasar, something like that. And now I've got a few videos over here that I can add in, and we'll call this helping out for the slug, helping friends learn Quasar. Double check that worked with a refresh, and it did. Oh, one other thing I'm going to quickly do, just because it's kind of a quality of life thing, I think will make it better. Let's make this use local storage. Use local storage. Whoops. Didn't I import that from Vue? Didn't I pull in Vue use? At Vue use / core. Okay, I think sometimes you just need to use something once first. Okay, so that's resources, refresh. Yep, that's working. But we want to call this current tab. And I like to use the name of the component. So we'll just say admin page dot current tab. So that'll sync that with local storage now. And we'll make it courses by default. Nice, that'll just make it easy to develop as well. And it's a better user experience. So we've got the course. Now we can start pasting in some lessons. And I've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my bottom screen. 1, 2, 3. Oh, let's get rid of this. 4, 5. That one. That one. That one. That one. And that one. With what? Component testing. Help us help you. Responsive screen sizes. Maybe blow mind. I mean, this is overkill. Separating home page. That'll do. And let's grab the URLs for all of these. I think that's the URL. Well, the ID. I don't think it's actually video URL. I'm pretty sure I wrote the wrong thing there. Copy that. And I'm just going to quickly sanity check this. Refresh. Yes, and it's working. They've all got descriptions as well. Maybe I will just paste those in. And now we can add all of those to that course. Again, sanity check. And it's working. Ah! Nice. And neither of these are really required. I might just add a couple of resources just so that we can kind of test this out. So one of them is going to be, let me just bring in my file system and look at what pictures I've got. Flowers and nebula. So how about this? Flowers. Send through my flowers file. Nebula. Send through my nebula file. Ooh, I like this UI. What else have I got? Quasar Vue REPL. Sure. Quasar Vue REPL. And let's do one more. And maybe this one isn't a picture. I don't know if I've got any documents though. I'll just create a new file. How about this? sum-file.tx, some file. And we'll save it and we'll call it sumfile.txt. There we go. I don't think I can drag and drop this though from VS Code. Yeah, I didn't think that worked. Open containing folder. There it is. I'll just drag it on like that. Okay. And we'll call this just sum-file. Pretty cool. And for those of you that missed one of my previous streams, this is a really cool composable that essentially allows you to create files on the user's computer using IndexedDB. So it's really cool for prototyping because now you get all the benefits of being able to have files, and you can even create download links and all that kind of stuff. But now you can demonstrate this using the user's computer so you don't have to build out a backend. So you notice I got files in here, and here's all of those files that I just added in. Is that all of them? Doesn't look like all of them. That looks like one file. Oh dear. They've all got different file IDs, right? 5C4D. Huh. Maybe we got a bug to fix. Well, don't I look like an idiot? 485. Yeah, they all look the same. 485, 485. Wonder what happened there. Some file.txt, some file. Yeah, they're all the same thing. All right, let's see what Lugu did wrong. Admin page, we're going to go to resources table. We got our file service here. And oh, I mightn't have finished what I was doing here. We might have just been testing things out. Now, let me close some tabs on my bottom screen. All right, so let's just follow what's happening here. No, that makes sense. So it takes the ID of the current file. So that should work, that download button. Now updating the resources file. Why can't I control click that? Oh, damn it. Is that going to work? No. Oh, bugger. That's all right. We'll just do this instead. So we've got our file service. We're saying update resource file. Takes in the file, takes in the resource form. Okay, so updating the resource form like that should automatically then do an update request. We do a file service.store. So I bet you it's got to do with this function here. Okay, if not id.value, we always, when we're storing this, we always want to set an id.value when we're doing a store. Because otherwise it was just setting the ID after it's stored, and then every single time we went to store it again, it was just using an ID that it already had. So let's come back here. We'll just get rid of all those flowers, nebula, Quasar VueModel, some file. Okay, we'll get all that done. Pictures, nebula, Quasar VueModel, flowers, and then some file, which is sitting somewhere that I can't remember. Some dash file. What is it, like show? Explorer. Reveal active file in Open containing folder. That's what it's called. I probably should have tested the other ones before going through all this. That was not very efficient of me. Okay, flowers. That works. Nebula worked. Quasar and VueModel worked. Sunfire worked. There we go. Now that's working. I don't think we even need the notes tab. I'm going to keep the table there anyway, but I'll just get rid of the tab. So we'll say admin page. We had notes here, so let's get rid of that tab. There we go. So you create your courses, you create your lessons, you create resources so you can attach them, and this is where we can manage users, especially for testing purposes. So now we can jump into lessons and start attaching some resources. That one's got the flower, that's got the nebula, this one's got the flower and the nebula, this one's got some file, and that one's got the view REPL thing. There we go. They're all attached. Check that it works, and it does. And now we should be able to test out this course. So we need an easy way to get to the courses. So maybe for now, we just add menu items down here for each course that's created. And then that's kind of hooked up to the slug and all of that. Because I can't even remember what the routing is for this. It's like course, okay, who knows? Yeah, so let's do that. This should be really easy to do. We should be able to jump into the main layout. There it is there. And one of the reasons I put this is in a composable is so I can easily do stuff like this. Let's jump into use main menu items. And none of my auto import stuff is working, which is frustrating. So this, I'm gonna have to hand type a lot of this out. Use indexer. Okay, well that worked. And now we can say here, const courses indexer is equal to use indexer, and I'm going to send through the course there. Nice. We're going to index that immediately. So we'll say immediate is equal to true. And then for the items, I'm going to say items. You know what? No, we need a page for this. Yeah, this is not going to make sense. Sorry, guys. So let's go ahead and create a page to display all of the courses. What's the best way to do that? Maybe we have like the title of the course and then just some items that show the videos for that course. And then you can click on those videos, and then that'll be cool because it'll give us an opportunity to then create like thumbnails for the courses. And then we can use basically this whole file system thing in order to create thumbnails. So you could like create resources maybe, and then attach the resources to the course as its thumbnail. Yeah, that would be cool. Nice. We're going to do that. Okay, so we're going to create a new page, and this is going to be courses page. We create a new file in there called courses page.vue. Template q-page. Let's just add the padding in, and we can remove it if we don't like it anymore. And then we can say const courses indexer is equal to use indexer to easily grab our courses. Oh, bugger. Import use indexer from @VueModel/core. Oh man, am I really gonna have to type all this out? Restart Vue and TypeScript. Come on. All right, let's just try closing this, getting out of it, opening it again. That didn't work. Opening it. Yay! Okay, I just had to restart code. We're on dev again there. Course. Boop. And then immediate will equal true. Okay, so now we can just put a pre-tag in there and just whack out our courses indexer dot records dot value. Now our lint is not working. Oh my goodness. And now we should be able to go into our routes. And let's create a path for this, which would just be courses. And that's going to be in the context of the main layout. So let's do it up here. There we go. Steal some of this shiz. Bam. Courses. Change the word admin here to courses. So it's using the courses page. And I think that's it. We should now be able to go / courses. And there we go. That's all of our courses, which is currently just one course. And then we can come up here and make sure we get all the lessons as well. Because since we don't have a lot of courses to show, you could do like a Netflix thing where you've got course, and it's kind of grouped by tags. But since we don't really have enough courses, we're just going to show all the lessons for that course, at least for now. So instead of, okay, yeah, we'll keep that as immediate true. And then here, I'm going to say with lessons to get all my lessons with that as well. And there's the courses with all the lessons. And now we can say maybe like a H. I'm going to just do it really grubby for now. And then we'll make it look prettier. H1 courses. Div. Might as well make it a row. That seems like it'll make the most sense. And then we'll make a H2 that is the title of the course. Then we can say v-4 is equal to course in, and then we'll iterate over all of the courses. So we'll whack that in there. And then we need a key as well, which will be the course.id. Okay. Oh man, I know why the linting's not working. Because I haven't brought in recommended. Do it there as well. I'm pretty sure that's a thing too. Okay, so let's restart Vue and TypeScript server. Give it a second. Oh no, we want to restart ESLint server. Really? Nothing? Let's bring that back to standard. Might be an error there. Hey, it's working. Okay. So now we can come in here and say course.title. All right, there's our course and our course title. And inside of here, we can then use the Q carousel component, which I haven't used in ages. So yeah, this should be interesting. So how about this? Let's say course lessons carousel. Lessons carousel.vue. Template for that. And then Q-carousel component. And then define props here. And I expect to get lessons, which will be a collection of lesson. Okay, with a lowercase l, Luke, you ninny face. And let's change that to a div for now, just so that we can check that it's working. I always like to make sure that I check things are working as I go. And so we'll come back here into the courses page, and then we'll have our lessons carousel. And then, of course, that gives us an error because it wants the lessons. And we say, okay, then I'll give you the lessons, which will be course.lessons. Yeah, just course.lessons. Is that right? Yeah, because we're currently on a course. Nice. And now we've got all the lessons inside our carousel component. Now, as I said, I haven't used the carousel component in a while. So let's jump into the nifty docs, type in carousel there, jump in there, and here's the carousel API. And I just wanted some basic usage. That'll do. So we just want the template for this. Yeah. Okay. So I'll jump into that. Whack in the carousel component. We want to model the slide. Const slide is equal to a ref. And what do we get here? Let's say, here we go. We'll say const props. Ugh. I did something wrong there. Const props is equal to that. Proops. And this will be props.lessons. And we're just going to grab the first one off there and assume that there's at least one lesson in the course. And the title. Or we just use the ID. Yeah, that's probably a better way to identify the slide in case they have the same title for some crazy reason. All right, no, we don't have any lorem. Let's just do that for all of them. No lorem for you and no lorem for you. Nobody gets any lorem. And you get a lorem. Okay, hang on. We want to get rid of all these carousel slides because we only need one, because then we're going to iterate over them. v-4 lesson in lessons. Okay. Now inside of here, let's just whack in the lesson dot title. Save it. We're going to need a key, which is why it's grumpy at us. Settle down, Vue. There you go. Okay, we come back in here now. Jump out of that page, jump out of that, and that. And we get nothing at all. So let's jump into our console and see if we have any errors. Okay, no errors. Maybe this needs a full width on it. Okay, it's got transitions. We're modeling the slide, which is going to be the ID. The name is going to be the lesson ID. So that'll probably help. Yep. We don't really want a carousel now that I think about it. We want a whole bunch. It's almost like we want a carousel of a bunch of cards that are paginated. Yeah. Okay, I can do this. So we want to chunk our lessons. Chunk. I think there's something like that that comes out of Lodash. Lodash-es. Chunk, no. Oh, what? Really? Is it not installed? Oh no, I think we've lost typing again. I repeat, we've lost typing. Yeah, something's crashing and restarting. It doesn't seem to work. Reload project, maybe? Well, there's like a reload extensions or something like that. I thought that was a thing. Damn it. All right, we'll close that out. Get out of it. cd conf dash de vue workshop. Oh man, that's frustrating. Okay, so we're on dev mode again. Come on. Oh man. I'm pretty sure this exists though. I think it's called like chunk from Lodash-es. Okay, so let's chunk. Yeah, there we go. It exists. Might just want a declaration. Okay, let's just do that and see what happens. P at -d types Lodash-es. Okay, so let's try restarting Vue now. Okay, that's working now. So we want to chunk our slides. So props.lessons into groups of, let's say 4. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of lessons to work with here. So we're going to have to like go back to the admin page and just like add some more lessons in. And I'm just going to do this. Yeah. Oh, it is full screen. Maybe just like put random crap into these and then just like duplicate the video URL. That's one way to do it. That's a dodgy way to do it. So 1 for each 4, 2 4s are 8. Yeah, we could just, at least we can get 2 pages of 4, so that would be good. And then make sure these are all attached to that same course. Give them some files. Nice. Some resources. All right, we should be good to go. So let's go back to /courses. Okay. And now these should be chunked. So let's do this. Let's say const lessons chunked is equal to computed. And then we can just return that. And that's going to be an array of lessons. Cool. All right, so now we can say v-for lesson chunk in, and we'll call this lesson chunks is probably more accurate, singular. Now we don't have an ID, so we're gonna have to pull an index out of there and change that to index. We don't really have a title in there anymore. We just want to say then a pre-tag with that chunk. So that should just be an array of 4 lessons. Okay. Slide should no longer be that. It should be 0 now. Okay, so that should be a pre-tag now with just 4 lessons. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure that's right. You know what? Let's just do this. Dot length on that. And we have 4 lessons. Okay, so now one slide is essentially like one big wide thing of lessons. So that's actually going to be a row. Let's just leave it at that for now. And then we'll have a card that shows each lesson. So q-card. Q-card. What's the best way to do this? Maybe just an image for each one? Yeah, well, at least we'll start that way. So image. And I'm just going to set the source equal to just something random for now. I don't know. Pretty photo. Copy image address. Oh God, I hope my video doesn't get taken down now because of that. Card. Okay, so then we have to say v-for lesson in lesson chunk. And now we can say the key is equal to the lesson's ID. And let's set a width equal to 100%, I guess, because then we'll change this into rows. So why is that not working? Right, so this needs to be full width. So we'll say class is equal to full width. And how about this? We make this a column. Actually, I think a row will do fine. Yeah, so hang on. So that's a row. And that now needs to be full width. And then this is inside of that row. Okay, so let's just make sure that the carousel itself is full width, which I'm pretty sure it will be now. Yeah, it is. So then we can use Flexbox at this point. class is equal to col-4, and at some point you can make this dynamic. And we go 4 to 4 is 8, 3 4 is 12. Okay, so we don't want 4, we want 3. Hang on, 3 4 3. So we get 4 in there. So yeah, we want that to be 3. Okay, so that works. I'm going to wrap the whole card inside of a div, so we have some flexibility inside of there. And then I'm going to take all of that and then whack it into here. Okay, the reason we do that is we can easily just kind of do stuff like this now. Q col gutter of medium, and it doesn't mess with the card's display. So let's get rid of that. And I might make that a large. All right. So yeah, this is starting to look really good. Next, the carousel needs to have some buttons on the right and the left. So let's jump into Quasar, look up carousel, because I think some of my stuff is not, my editor stuff might not be working now. Oh no, maybe it is. Okay, here we go. So let's say, I think it's navigation. There we go. But I want it to be like arrows. Arrows. Cool. All right, not bad. It's obviously not looking perfect yet, but we're getting there. So what if we get rid of navigation and just leave arrows in there? So why is that lining up weirdly? It's extra tall. Okay, it's extra tall because it's trying to take up the whole height. Why is it extra tall, actually? I don't know. What have we got in here? That's probably not necessary. Width 100%. Yeah, interesting. So, all right, let's do some recon here. We then have this div, and that's what's got, let's, why is it getting all that height? Is it like a specific height set here at some point? Oh, here we go. Q carousel. Oh, it's got a default height set. Okay, so can we just say like the height is inherited? Let's just try that in a style tag. Height inherit? All right, that seems to have worked. Cool. It's not perfect, but I mean, there you go. So then we want to make it so that when you click on this, okay, so we'll do two things before I finish up this video. When you click on it, it should take you to that video in that course. And we also want images as well. So you want to be able to have an image for a lesson. Okay, so let's start with clicking on it, taking you to the course. So we'll say class is equal to, oh, can we put, I think we can set a tag on this and make it a link tag. Yeah, there we go. A. And then you can just make this a href. Is that the best way to do it? I don't know. Maybe we could just wrap all this in a router link. Let's try that. Router link. And then we'll say 2 is equal to name. I'll open up my routes here. And the name is lesson. And then we also have some params here, which is the course slug and the lesson slug as well. Control space, is that params? Yep. Save it. Why am I not getting that formatting? Oh, because there's only one thing in there. So the course slug we probably want the course in here as well. So actually, we don't need that. We can just get it off the lesson. We can say lesson dot course dot slug. But that means that every lesson now needs to be fetched with the course. So yeah, let's actually bring the course in here as well. So course is equal to whatever the course is, and then I'll jump back into the courses page and we'll make sure that gets sent down. Course is equal to the current course. Was I still complaining? No, that's fine. So now that we have the course, we can come down here and say the course slug is course.slug, and we know we're actually going to have that. And then we can say this is lesson.slug. All right. So we're now getting a little pointer showing up. Helping a friend with component testing. What's this one? Help us help you. All right, so this needs to be like changed a bit to make it look better, but all right, this is working. The links are working. We'll get our nifty comment section. We got resources showing up. Okay, we still need to do the notes, but we're actually getting pretty close to being done here. At least the user will have like a nice starting point that they can work with. Let's add courses to the menu here. Base menu items, and that's going to have an icon equal to MDI book, maybe that'll do. Or maybe like MDI video. Yeah. And it's got a label equal to courses and 2 courses. Well, why doesn't it like that? Oh, this is a router link, so it's got to be done like this. Come in here, courses, that shows up. And now when you click on one of these, it opens it on that course. All right, so let's do a little bit more. I'm not going to make this look super pretty right now. We'll just say class is equal to Q margin wide, I don't know, medium. And then we'll also text center it. Okay, maybe it's not full width. There we go. And how about we say, I'm going to give it a size as well. I think we got Uno CSS, so I can't really remember how to do this, but it's like, I don't know, text. Let's just do something small. Yeah, okay, that is how you do it. 1 point, maybe like 3 EM. Let's go 2.6. Okay. Why are they so far apart from each other? Anyway, we'll go up to courses and get this fixed. So we use a similar concept there. This is a H1, and we'll also give them both a text dash blue gray 8, something like that. Just looks a little bit nicer. So that should be full width and centered. And it should say courses. There we go. We'll make this one darker. Or maybe the opposite, actually. Maybe we make this like a 7 and make this darker. I like to make the headings more understated. All right, so margin Y, we'll probably leave that as is. And I think one of the problems with the design here is the fact that this is flex means that they're all kind of distributing. Yeah, they're all sort of distributing the space. So we'll just say here, items start. Or was it justify start? Oh God, I can never remember. Or we go column. And then I don't think we need any of that. Yeah. All right, this is, what browsers? What happened there? Oh, it's like it thinks that button is a link. So that'll work. So when I try and click on this. Okay, so maybe we need to do a stop on that button. Ah, we don't have access to it unless I tap into it directly. Well, what we could do is just add a bit of padding on the sides here. Q-padding on the x-axis. Set it to medium. What? What is going on there? Lesson slug. Okay, let's set that to margin so that it might not be. Man, I don't know what the hell is with that. So what would happen if we change this from a router link to just an @click, which is what I don't really want to do that. I'd rather have something that's more easily referenced. And then we just say router.push. Let's try that. Yeah, okay, so that router link was causing it to do something funky. Well, in that case, maybe the best way to do this is set this equal to a tag, and we'll just have to manually do the href. Slash, and it's going to take us to course/course slug. So course/course.slug slash, and then we've got the lesson.slug. Okay. So let's see if that works. Okay, so that does work. It's just something weird with router link going on there. All right, and I might actually, instead of using QImage, we'll just use a plain image, which is fine in this case. Yeah. Okay. I'll go back to QImage. It's just those loading spinners with the small looking card. You probably don't even need a card at this point now that I think about it. Can I set the tag on this? Oh, it does add the little shadow, which I'm not even seeing for some reason. Q, say Q marginal extra small. That might make the shadows show. No. Weird. What if I wrap it again in a div and add padding to that? Yeah, I don't know. It might have something to do with just the image being in that card. Doesn't matter. Okay, you can put a href on an image anyway, so yeah, I think I can just do this without the tag and that'll be fine. Pretty sure there's valid HTML. Yeah, but then we get the rounding of the card. All right, we'll keep it in there. Okay, I think I'm happy with that. So next up, what's with all the margining on courses there? Or maybe that's the line height. I'm tempted to just not make it a height there, a H1 at this point. Line height. Yeah, that's kind of squishes things up a bit better. And then we would make this maybe like a 2 point. We'll leave that at 2.6, but bring this down to like a 1.8 for the subheading. Looks a bit better. And then a capital C on courses. Nice. I thought I put padding in there, but it doesn't seem to be there anymore. What happened to that? Margin on the x-axis, medium. What do we set that to? Extra large. Yeah, I just want these buttons to show more clearly. But then this one overflows, but that one doesn't. So what's the go with that? Oops. Okay, it's actually got its own padding. So let's just say large and just see what happens there. Oh no, that's whether or not we want padding. Okay, so let's just say padding and see if that adds enough padding to display that better. Yeah, okay, so that adds padding there so that these buttons are more clearer. But why? Q col gutter large. Where did I do that? Ah, okay, the column gutter is actually messing up with the inside of that card, I think. I don't know, it might be something else. You know, I don't think it's the column gutter. Well, no, that's doing its job. Col gutter, maybe just on the x-axis, which is what we'd want anyway, but I don't think that'll fix the problem. Yeah, well, we don't need a col gutter since we're iterating over it anyway. We could just come into each card and say Q margin on the x-axis small, something like that. No, that didn't work, but I am curious to see. Yeah, even still, when you've got those two buttons, they're not lining up correctly. Why? Why are they not lining up correctly? They're like slightly offset. What do we put a full width on that? I don't know. I'm getting a bit tired. I'm going to work on this later. Oh, it's looking decent enough for now. Oh, it looks like that image isn't even displaying correctly in that card. What will that do? It's like the card is still small and the image is getting larger than the card. Yeah, like what is that inside of there? That's a cue card. And then inside of that card is the image. What the feck is going on? Oh man. All right. I'm too tired for this right now. Come back to it later. Thanks for sticking around. Talk to you all soon.